You're listening to SMUBE Campus Radio, Say What You Wanna Say. I'm Megan, your host for A Cuppa With, a podcast series where we host alumni, experts of their fields, and take them through an informal coffee chat. These conversations will take us through the life journey, as well as diverse perspectives on what it means to give back and how to continually create positive impact with what we do. So today we have a very special guest on set with us, once a former SS student and now the CEO and founder of TurtleTree Labs. It's A Cuppa With Lin Fengru.
Hi everyone!
Right, hi Fengru, it's so good to have you. So how are you feeling?
Excited!
Awesome! So let's take a trip down memory lane. Can you share some of your favourite SMU memories?
Wow! This is a good first question. I love it. So when I was in SMU, I was part of SMUBE's cycling team. So one of the most memorable things was in 2010, me and a bunch of SMUBE's friends, there were 6 of us, we cycled all the way from Bangkok to Singapore. So in line with 2010 Youth Olympic Games, we did 2010 kilometers from Bangkok all the way here. It was quite the experience.
Oh gosh, that's really physically intensive. You still doing any of those like long cycling trips nowadays?
Not trips. We are in COVID at the moment. So I do cycle around Singapore. Much shorter now. I'm not as fit as back in school.
Right. So if anyone sees like a Fengru cycling,
wave at me.
I'm sure our viewers are dying to know what your company is all about.
Sure. So TurtleTree, we are a biotech company based out of Singapore, and we have a small office in San Francisco. And what we're doing is we are able to get cells and get them to lactate the full composition of milk. And the significance of that is we are able to produce milk from all mammals. That includes goats, sheep, camels, cows, and even human milk. And human milk is an area where the company is focused on in our early days of development because of the high value and the high functional applications of human milk components. And as we scale up production and scale down costs, we will be able to hit the fluid milk market in the next 2 to 3 years.
Wow, so I'm going to see TurtleTree milk like on the shelves in 2 to 3 years.
You will be able to see TurtleTree components in other milk products or other food products, even as early as end of this year.
Now with these cell-based products, you are able to better address the issue of sustainability, which I believe is in line with your company's goals.
So I think it goes back to how the company and why it started, right? So a few years ago, I was learning how to make cheese as a hobby. I even went to Vermont for a few weeks to learn how to make cheese. So I know what good milk looks like, how good milk should perform, and I was trying to replicate this whole process back in Asia. And to get good cheeses, you need a good source of milk. I was in Indonesia, I was in Thailand, trying to look for a good source of fresh, unpasteurized raw milk. But around these areas, I was soon exposed to things like contract farming, to antibiotics and hormones that are being pumped into the cows. As a result, the milk quality suffers and the milk doesn't perform as well. So we came up with this cell-based solution precisely because we wanted to tackle or alleviate some of these challenges around sustainability, around animal cruelty. Just because, it's 7 billion people on the planet, we can't change things overnight. But as we welcome the next 3 billion people coming onto the planet, we need to continue finding different solutions to continue feeding the people that are coming on.
You actually mentioned about your love for cheese and how you went to Vermont to understand how to make cheese, right? You could say that the reason for this company is actually stemming from your love for cheese as well. Yeah. Right. Then in that case, right, what is your favorite cheese?
My favorite cheese is a camembert, a soft, bloomy rind cheese.
Right. You want to hear my favorite cheese?
Yeah.
My favorite cheese is blue cheese. The first time I had it, it literally blew me away. Alright. Cheesy joke.
Good one.
The thing is that you are a former IS student, right? And actually, I too am from SIS, now rebranded as SEIS, but yeah. So you're kind of like my senior in school right now. So as your junior, I actually want to ask, how has your SMU experience, contributed to your success?
It's one of those age-old learnings, right? It's being in school, especially a business school, is learning how to learn. And it really stays true. So, I don't have a biotech background, but today I'm leading a biotech company. And it's really being able to connect the dots. I think as a business student in a business school, It's about being able to understand the needs of every team and being able to convince and negotiate at every point to align people with your goal. So I guess as business folks, we have the vision and we're able to tell the story and bring our following, bring our team on board to have a common goal. And I think that's very important.
You are now the founder and CEO of one of the world's first cell-based milk company, and that has its own unique set of challenges. So what are some of the most significant challenges that you have faced over these past few years?
I think in the early days, it also links back to my previous point. In the early days, there were some investors who would come to me and my co-founder, and they would say, "You guys are business folks. What business do you have running a biotech company?" And one of them even said, "I will invest in you if you hire a Nobel laureate onto your team." So that was quite shocking to us. And now 2.5 years on, we tell everyone that it's precisely because we're not science folks. We are business folks. That's why we're able to connect the dots. So we're not married to a certain technology. We're about commercial viability. We're about price point. We're about our customers.
Some people may think that being from a business background is let's just say it's a con, it's a weakness, but no, you've proven them wrong. You've shown that actually it has given you a lot of advantages in the field that people didn't even expect in the first place. And now you have gotten to where you are right now, so surely.
Yeah, and recently I read a book called Range, talking about how generalists rule the world, and it's about being able to activate the right resources all around the world to bring in again to meet the goal that you have drafted for the company.
Do you have any other words of advice for the budding entrepreneurs around us?
We are all so fortunate to be sort of graduating after the internet age, right? I know it sounds really cheesy, but like my whole business is really built around connecting with people. So COVID wasn't easy, but these days everyone is pretty open to chatting with people on LinkedIn, on different social channels. So we've been able to connect with the right folks globally, even candidates, even talent, to bring them on board to our team. So for budding entrepreneurs, it's about getting connected with the right folks and talking to people. It's really testing out every idea that you have. We never knew that cell-based method it's a way that we could adopt to produce the milk, but it's about testing out the hypothesis, talking to the scientists, pulling in the best minds into a room to discuss these possibilities. That it was door after door that was open for us.
Let's have a bit of a fun question, right? So you've been a CEO for a few years, right? And you know what they say, with great responsibility comes great stress. So what do you do to relax a little, unwind a little?
I cycle. I still cycle quite a bit. I also like to read. So I don't read books, but I listen to audiobooks so that I can multitask.
So you can also tune into our recording later and listen to us.
Exactly. So I can follow different podcasts. I can listen to audiobooks. It's a good way to learn new things as well as do your usual morning exercises as well.
Your milk is actually going to be for all consumers, humans and non-humans.
And in Japan, some Japanese have even come up with whale milk.
Oh.
So your favorite cheese is blue cheese, right?
Yes.
Imagine blue whale blue.
Whale. What is the secret ingredient for your success? What do you think was the core thing that made you successful?
I must say, it's the team. We have an amazing team. We have 25 full-time scientists and engineers across 6 different teams, and the talent density is just incredible. Everyone takes ownership of not just what they do, but also across the board, across the different teams as well. So I must say that our team is the most amazing.
And this goes back to your point of making connections around the world, right? There's a lot more opportunities to connect with people now digitally, now that we have the resources to do so.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for our team, it's also about thinking critically. as well as giving each other feedback. And I think we've built quite a good culture within the company where feedback is welcomed, and candor is welcome. And it's about being able to understand where each other is coming from, and being respectful of every viewpoint out there.
And so with the success you've achieved, right, how do you plan on giving back and, making a difference with what you do?
Sure. So because we are able to make milk from all mammals, we are also working on certain mammals that are endangered. So we are setting up TurtleTree Foundation, focused on producing milk for endangered species. For example, elephants from Sumatra. There are lots of orphan elephants because the elephant mothers have been hunted for their tusk. As a result, the elephant babies find it very hard to access real milk from their mothers, and you cannot really replace elephant milk with cow milk, for example. So they've been finding it a struggle to find the right nutrition for the elephant babies, and also in for snow leopards. So snow leopards in captivity, the mother tend to attack their babies, so they try to separate mother from the cubs. But the cubs find it difficult to find an alternative nutrient source. So these are the different areas that we are looking to help support.
So, we've gone through the entire journey from your SMU life to the hardships, to how you overcame them, and lastly to the future you hope to create. So now imagine that you're talking to young Lin Fengru from like 5 years or a few more years ago, right? So what would you say to her?
I would say study harder. And also, one good thing, I've been through a number of internships back in school, but I think if I had more time in school, I would absolutely do more internships. The amount of experience that you get in industry is quite precious. We do have quite a number of interns who came through TurtleTree, and I think the experience that I learned during my internship days is invaluable. Knowing how industry works, knowing what's important to the bosses or the teams, and how to work across different teams, it's incredible. So I would say try to do as many internships as you can.
Alright, so thank you so much for being on our podcast series, right? It's honestly been a lovely journey through your entire your sharing of experiences, and I'm sure that our viewers really appreciate it too. I wish nothing but the best for TurtleTree in now and the future, and I am really looking forward to seeing your TurtleTree milk on the shelves and in my fridge.
Right. I look forward to that as well. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to another episode of A Cuppa With. If you're interested in creating impact and giving back, head over to @SMU alumni-giving on Facebook and follow us at SMUBE on Instagram. Once again, this has been Lin Fengru from TurtleTree Labs and Megan, your host from SMUBE Campus Radio. Say what you want to say. Till next time.